You guys asked, so here it is. Today I'm going to be doing a kitchen and pantry tour. So as you guys probably know, I have recently moved. Not only was there a lot of food to go through and kind of organize and get rid of some things, but there was also a big organizational overhaul on my whole pantry in general because there was just a lot of chaos, I would say. So now that I feel I have a little bit more space to spread out, I feel that I've done a pretty good job with organizing this kitchen. But all that being said, I am still learning a lot about organizational techniques as well. So if you guys have any tips and tricks to add to this video, definitely leave it in a comment down below. I love hearing other people's tips, and there's often a lot of things that I don't know as well. So it can be really helpful to hear other people's ideas. So actually, let's go ahead and start off in the pantry. That was probably the most organizational part of this whole process. I actually just had an empty space to start with, and so I had to buy a shelf and also some boxes to go inside. Hugh fortunately helped me put together the shelf and everything, and now it is looking much better. So hopefully you guys can see pretty well, the pantry is just adjacent to our kitchen. I think that when Q and I move to an actual real home, I'm gonna be looking for a walk-in pantry because I do have a lot of things and I just like to have a lot of extra food on hand. So that will probably be the upgrade when we do eventually buy a house. But for now, we have this cute little pantry here. So let me just show you guys what's in there. So the thing I was debating most about this pantry is what kind of shelving unit to get. I knew that I needed something heavy duty because there was going to be a lot of weight put on this shelf, but I don't really like these wire racks because of the holes between the wire. So that was kind of a big debate of mine. I was looking at like bookshelf style shelves, but those don't seem to hold quite enough weight. So I decided to get this metal rack because they can hold like 150 pounds per shelf. They're pretty sturdy. And then I just put these plastic liners on, which are the same that we use in all of our drawers. And that has seemed to help for any cans or jars dipping in between the shelf wires. The only thing is we started running out of these shelf liners, so I didn't want to purchase a whole new roll just for this rack. So some of them only have the plastic shelf liner going halfway across, but I'm making it work. Up here we have our popcorn and our popcorn machine, 2 sizes of tapioca pearls. These are just random collect all baskets. This one has like cake decorating tips, cheesecloth, twine, things like that. And this one is all my random spices that are just extra for now. And then I just use these to refill my tiny spice jars as needed. On this shelf, we have like a couple random canned and jarred goods. We have tomato sauce, jackfruit, tapioca starch, some black bean sauce, tamarind paste, artichoke hearts, and tomato paste. And on this side, I have the sweet stuff, which is just peach slices, evaporated milk, vegan of course, and a plain coconut milk, as well as some cacao powder, cookie cutters. What else is in there? Oh, candy canes. So to label or not to label, that is something that I wasn't sure if I should buy a label maker just to add on to these. I know a lot of people just do like a little white sticker and then write it on there as well. That totally works. But I do have a pretty good system down in terms of like where things are placed on each shelf. And I also keep all similar looking powders in different looking jars. So for example, this is tapioca starch and I have that memorized based on this type of jar that I've put it in. And then this one is powdered sugar. And then in my other cupboard is where I have the rice flour, which those 3 all look very similar. And like I said, it would be very easy just to buy some labels and put them on. But hey, it's been working for me so far. I haven't accidentally swapped them in any recipes yet, and I'm just going with it. On this shelf, we have some lentils, spelt berries, whole wheat couscous, soybeans, millet, dried chilies, This is Q's basket. I always put his instant noodles in here. Extra broth powder. This is a vegan chicken flavored powder. Dried mushrooms to make broth, and then my favorite broth paste. So I consider this shelf to be like the baking shelf. That's where I keep most of the sugars, which I don't really use that often except in baking, but I do have quite a different variety of sugar. On this shelf, we just have black beans, buckwheat, white sugar, cocoa powder, raisins, chocolate chips, mini chocolate chips, brown sugar, organic white sugar, rock sugar, powdered sugar, and chickpea flour. So on this shelf, I just have this Dutch oven, which I actually got from Amazon Basics. It was so much cheaper than like the fancier brands. So I actually have yet to even use it. I wanted to buy it to bake sourdough bread, and I just haven't been baking sourdough bread lately. I thought it was a beautiful color. It was a great price. Hopefully the enamel inside will last a while. I know that a lot of people are critical of these types of pots because of that, but we shall see. I hope that was a good purchase. And then my box of flour. So this has all the different flours in it. I thought this box would be a good way to organize it, since otherwise all the bags would just be loosey-goosey everywhere. So I have plain white flour, whole spelt flour, rye flour, vital wheat gluten, also known as gluten flour for making seitan, type 00 flour for pizza crust, and cake and pastry flour, which is a little bit of a more delicate flour. And then these bottom two are just a random hodgepodge of extras. I have some lasagna noodles, applesauce, more sugar, panko breadcrumbs, a Thai soy sauce, which I have yet to try, rose water for making rose flavored desserts, an extra tamari, an extra Dijon mustard, and some olive oil. So this I've actually had for a very long time. I was buying oil all the time before we decided to go oil-free. I do still use it occasionally, that's why I haven't gotten rid of it, but honestly, there's not even that much left. I'm like, might as well just keep it and use it if needed. In this second box is where I have my extra Instant Pot sealing rings and my juicer. So this is just our juicer and all the parts for it. Oh, and very exciting, dinosaur popsicle molds. I mean, this was so cute. I just had to buy it. Like, you guys know I've been on this frozen treat binge. I have yet to use these, but I'm thinking of some popsicle recipes for you guys, so you'll probably be seeing these soon. Kitchen island, I actually just bought this for filming, but then I realized it's very convenient to have extra storage here. All of these fresh fruits and things like onions and garlic were on the countertop, but I decided just to store them here for easy access. And then on the bottom here is just excess baking pans and cooling racks. Watermelon we have yet to cut into, and my ice cream maker, which I've been using a lot, so that's why it is here instead of on the pantry shelf. So luckily Q and I don't have that much in terms of kitchen items like cups, plates, things like that. So we fit everything pretty much into these two cupboards. In the first one, we just have our mugs, and then the top two are just glassware, a lot of which I got from Value Village, by the way. I think most of the wine glasses I got there for like a few dollars each. These lovely stemless wine glasses I got there as well. And then in this cupboard, we just have our plates and bowls, Value Village pink bowls. These I absolutely love. I have a set of 6 of them with 2 cats, and the other are just like black and white designs. I got these, I think, in Vermont when we were on a road trip there a few years ago. However, they are not dishwasher and microwave safe, so I do feel like I use them less often because of that, but I use them for like special occasions, for when we have guests and we're having like a nice little dessert that we need a bowl for. My Vitamix jug is up there. I could keep it here on top of the base, but I kind of like this plain look, and I also have the extra cups up there, the travel size cups up there, so I just keep them all together, and I have the tall space at the top, so I thought might as well keep them together. Silicone molds for baking, freezing, and chocolate making, and then my Value Village glass pitcher. In this corner, I just have my more oftenly accessed food items, I guess. These are mostly all beans with a couple spices and everything like that. Black beluga lentils, yellow split peas, red adzuki beans, white kidney beans, red lentils, black split lentils, nutritional yeast, the rice flour I was talking about before, dried mushrooms, kombu, which I use to make the beans, green mung beans, cardamom, and cloves. Now, the reason I keep things in jars is not just purely aesthetics. I usually buy things in bulk, so either I will buy a huge bag of beans from Costco, so I'll just pour out some of that into a jar for easier access. Or also, when Bulk Barn reopens and allows you to take jars back in, I will also do that method so that I don't have to buy a plastic bag's worth. I can just refill my jars, which makes a little bit less waste. I do like to do that when possible. And in addition to all that, it does look nice in my opinion. I know some people spend a lot of money on their jars, and I definitely like to recycle my jars, if you guys have noticed. So these are my absolute favorite jars to recycle. They are from the PC pasta sauces. The PC pasta sauces have these plain jars with this really nice gold lid with no writing on it or anything like that. So after we make pasta and we eat all the red sauce, then I just take off the label and wash it in the dishwasher, and it's as good as new for like a storage jar. And then on the next shelf, we just have some more pasta noodles, some potato noodles, vermicelli, more dried mushrooms, xanthan gum, an almost finished bag of soy curls, brown rice vermicelli, chili oil that Q's mom made, gochugaru spice, white sesame seeds, more broth powder, this is the mushroom flavor, and one little box of Daiya vegan mac and cheese, baking powder, peppermint extract, cocoa powder, vanilla, egg replacer, agar-agar, lupin flour, arrowroot starch, dried cranberries, hot chocolate mix, star anise, some other random spices back there, and molasses. And then in our last little glass cupboard, we have mung beans, some chickpea pasta, amla powder, quinoa, amaranth, and steel cut oats, as well as the tea shelf. I have all my teas. And on the top shelf up there are the really tall packages. I have some seaweed for sushi wraps, sweet potato noodles, some vegan popcorn, and these dried bean curd sheets, which I bought for a vegan egg recipe, and I have yet to try these out. I forgot these were in there. I'm gonna have to utilize these soon. This is like the coffee corner. We have our coffee, French press, instant coffee, a small pitcher for when we want some heated soy milk in our coffee, thermos cups, some vegan protein powder that my brother-in-law gave us and we have yet to try, vitamins, some more protein powder, PB2, and then on the counter over here, I use these the most often and it was the largest jar, so I didn't want to keep it in the cupboard. I thought it might be too heavy. So chickpeas are here with noodles and my vegan protein powder. Now in this cupboard right here, this is like the least organized of all the places because it's in this like awkward little turnaround, which is kind of hard to access. So in here is all the leftover and extra things that don't fit into jars. So it'll be like extra red lentils, chickpeas, rice, nutritional yeast, etc. So anytime I get to the bottom of a jar, I just go into here and easily can refill any of the jars. And this one down here is just extra milk. It's also my kitchen towels, reusable produce grocery bags. I also like to use these even in the fridge. I like to store my produce in here. Immersion blender and mini food processor, hand mixer, and extra paper towels. Up here is just extra jars. I don't have very many in there right now because most of them are being used. I do actually also use these in the refrigerator to store food instead of a Tupperware. If I have like leftover soups or anything like that, are very easy to put into a jar. Oh, and cold tea as well. I've been making a lot of summer cold drinks, and so I usually just store those in a jar and then into the fridge. And lastly, we have our drawers. The top one is my main utensil drawer, pots and pans, strainer, measuring cups, extra jars, and bowls for washing produce. Ooh, these are really fun. Spice racks and bottle holders. Oh my goodness. I know a lot of people don't like these in their home, but I am like in love with these spice racks. We have 2 of them. And so the top is very short. I just hold all my spices there. And the bottom one is larger. It's for like sauces and oils and vinegars and things like that. So this is so convenient to have it right by the stove. So when you're cooking, you just open the spice drawer. There's all your spices. I love these. And then very lastly, our drawers here, silverware drawer, oven mitts, parchment paper, aluminum foil drawer, And then 2 bottom drawers of Tupperware, which honestly, our Tupperware gets used so often that these are hardly ever full. We are like always cycling in and out of the drawer to the fridge to the washing machine. So that's why these are so empty. And then under the sink is just like cleaning supplies, trash bags, things like that. This is our green bin and our regular trash. And then, oh, recycling is under the sink as well. Oh, and one last place, the very top of the fridge. Let me show you guys what's up there. Just a couple extra baking items, my silicone baking mats, a baking dish, silicone muffin holders, some chips, Q's favorite cereal, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and my other exciting Value Village find, the very large drink pitcher with a little spout. So that is it for today's kitchen tour, pantry tour, cupboard tour. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a like down below. If you have any questions or comments about anything, just leave it in a comment, or you can always DM me on Instagram as well. And with that, let's eat plants, and I will see you guys next time.